I feel like whenever you have an attempt, you need people around you that love you. So, I mean, the feeling that you have after having an attempt and it not being successful is not a happy. It's not like, "Yay, I survived," like, if you maybe survived a car crash or something. Yeah, you're, like, mad at yourself.
Hey there, my name is Sean, and this is Suicide Noted. On this podcast, I talk with suicide attempt survivors and ideators so that we can hear their stories. Every year around the world, millions of people try to take their own lives, and we almost never talk about it. We certainly don't talk about it enough, and when we do talk about it, when we engage with people in all kinds of pain, most of us are not very good at it. In fact, most of us are really bad at it. So one of my goals with this independent podcast, now almost 6 years old, is to have more conversations and hopefully better conversations with survivors, in large part to hopefully help more people in more places feel a little less shitty and a little less alone. And I have got to tell you, I mean that. Really, that is the goal. Now, if you are a survivor and you'd like to talk, I'd love to talk with you. Please reach out. hello@suicidenoted.com. There's a few other places you can reach out, but that is the easiest one. You can learn more about this podcast at our website, suicidenoted.com, right here on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you are listening. We've got a few projects. I'll be sharing more about them with you soon. Remember, we've got that weekly poll on Spotify, and if you wouldn't mind rating us on Apple, it really does help people find it. Only, of course, if it's 5 stars, and only do that if you think we've earned it. Finally, we are talking about suicide here on this podcast. My guests and I do not hold back. So please take that into account before you listen or as you listen. But I do hope you listen because there is so much to learn. Today I am talking with Kim again. This is an update episode. Kim still lives in Mississippi, and Kim is still a suicide attempt survivor. God damn, it's been 6 fucking years, 5 years.
Long time. I feel like a whole bunch has happened since then.
Yeah, I just feel fucking old.
We had talked about my kid a lot too at that time, and a lot's changed with him too. So I'm a little teary up right now because I just got a text from someone. He had a wreck yesterday, and he was high compliment that he handled it very well without me around. So he handled it properly, like I want him to. He's 20.
Where are you from originally?
Mississippi.
Is that where you still are?
Yep. If you have trouble with my accent, just let me know and I can try.
Really? What are you going to do?
I can make it not as deep.
It's been a few years. We're updating your life. This podcast is still going. It's pretty nuts. How's life in Mississippi?
It's a difficult place to live if you're weird, but it's
That is a memoir title. I love it. I don't know. We probably weren't doing that back then. It didn't come up. I don't know if you ever listened to the podcast any, but like Kim in Mississippi, it's gold. That's gold. That would sell. Yeah, we were, well, we talked probably like in the summer, early fall of 2021. Your episode came out in October, but here's what you said. Remember? So I picked these little blurbs that I put out in the beginning of each episode, and I'm going to read you what you said. Do you happen to remember?
No, that's been a long time, and I thought about re-listening to it, but, it's kind of cringe listening to yourself.
It is. I was going to ask you that anyway. So here's what you said, okay? It's like I hated myself so much, and I thought that I would fail at everything, that I would mess that up. Like I couldn't even kill myself, right? It was a small part of a larger conversation, and I pulled that out, and that was the beginning. But that was, 4.5 years ago. So when I say it, is it weird to hear that?
No, I mean, that's definitely resonates. That's how I felt most of middle school, high school, 20s, 30s. I'm in late 40s now, so.
Oh, how's that sitting with you?
Yeah, I'm a grandma now. I kind of like it.
Wait,
not bad.
Hold up. Late 40s, you got a grandkid?
He's 4 months old.
Oh,
they live in Texas, though, so I don't get to see him as much, but.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thanks for reconnecting with me. Here's the thing. Did you ever listen to our episode?
Yeah, yeah, I did. I listened to it. I shared it.
What was it
Uh,
like to hear your own voice? It would have been at least a month or more after we talked, I think. Was it weird?
I don't really like listening to myself back. I'm better at it now, but, at first, I don't like hearing that's not how I think I sound. But,
Did you
yeah, I
share?
shared it, and I think it helped, like, sharing it with friends. I shared it with my son that's had attempts, and he's had another attempt since that, podcast, so he's doing great now, or pretty good. I mean, he's a 20-year-old, almost 21-year-old college kid, but we've come a long way. That
Mm.
helped, and, like, having the conversation open has helped
Yeah.
me with my friends and with him to kinda understand more.
Yeah, that's pretty courageous move though, dude. Like really, to share it.
I didn't share it with my mom.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah. So it doesn't mean everybody.
Not parents, but yeah, select few I shared it.
Select few, including friends and son, who then was a teenager and had an attempt himself.
He's had 2 major attempts that's put him in the psych wards, and the last one, he was in rehab, and he had an attempt, and they sent him they sent him to the ER first, and then they sent him. I think that was the hardest thing I've ever gone through.
Was that all since we talked, since 2021?
Yeah, that was 4 years ago.
That was in that general time frame of when we talked.
Mhm. Yeah,
He
it
had
was
it.
it was still really hard at that time with him, and he still ideates as I did, probably just like a passive ideations, have
Mhm.
those thoughts, but he hasn't had any more attempts that I know of since.
But he's not the one in Texas.
No, that's my middle kid that's in Texas. I have 3 boys, yeah. One's in Colorado, one's in Texas, and this one's he's about an hour and a half away in a college town.
Your experience, then we're gonna get more to you, but your
Mhm,
experience as a mother of a son in Mississippi, for what it's
mhm.
worth, dealing with the mental health system, whether that be doctors or therapists or hospitals, the whole thing overall. And I know this is a big, hard, challenging question. Do you think they did him right?
No, it's a horrible system. I don't know how it is, and Georgia is where he was on his 2nd attempt, and I do feel like he was in Dahlonega when he was in rehab, and they sent him to it's, like, north of Atlanta. That place he actually, he liked, he connected with more. I mean, they just have SpongeBob on the whole time. He didn't do anything, weekends don't count, holidays don't count. It's always a holiday when he has an attempt. They end up doing a week. I think I don't know if all the hospitals are like that, but it was like that in Mississippi too. It was a week.
Okay. And we're talking mostly about teenagers, not adults. I don't talk to anyone under 18, so he's in that middle ground there because he wasn't in an adult facility.
No, but they're all like in the same.
He's better.
Yeah, yeah.
So is it weird because, you gave him genetics. You gave him some stuff.
Well, he'll talk about it, and it feels like he's talking about how I feel.
Mm,
Things that I haven't expressed. It's helped me so much to have more compassion for myself and to have more compassion for my younger self. Like, my parents didn't ever get it. Like, they would see this as when I would express that I was ideating, and, they're like, "That's, selfish. Why would you do that to me? Why can't you just do it? Your life life could be so much worse. What do you have to be sad about?" All those things that people
yeah.
that luckily don't have this mindset. So for him, I feel like I've been able to be more compassionate.
To be completely frank, and I think I'm usually frank, I meant that question more as do you feel kind of bad because you gave him
Yeah, for
gene?
sure. And I was extremely suicidal when I was pregnant with him. His dad moved to New York, wouldn't answer the phone. I was in a bad, bad spot when I was pregnant with him. And I question if that's why he struggles like he does, or is it genetic? Like, I'm obsessed with trying to figure out why and how do we make it better and how can I help him? How can I help myself? How can I help others?
Do your other two children suffer at all from that? I'm
And
not
he has
being.
a different dad, so maybe on his
Uh,
dad's side,
oh, wait, hang on.
his
So
uncle had a suicide, and so I don't know if it, like, runs in their family too, if he got
totally.
hit.
No, no, we're totally blaming his father. Fuck that guy.
That sounds good. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
I know we're going back more than 4 years, but
Mhm,
the experience in talking with me, basically a stranger, was there
mhm.
anything, and don't bullshit me. I'm cool with that, with whatever you say. Was there anything that you felt was kind of negative about it, either during or after? Like that you regretted it, or there was any negative fallout?
Oh, no. Maybe, like, listening to myself, might have wished that I said something else or didn't say something, but I can't remember any specifics on, like,
Is that a new tattoo on your left arm there, or did you have that then too?
these are all old.
Gotcha.
Probably
Oh, there's
that's my newest one, the San Pedro.
oh, okay. You got all kinds of tats.
But that's
So
still, like, 4 years old or so. Yeah.
okay. I have a favor question thing to ask you that is the hardest thing I've found thus far in trying to do these update episodes. We talked in 2021. When we talked, you were a mid-40s human being living in Mississippi. That led you to at one point try to end your life at least once, correct?
Yes.
I want you to think about this as like a truly like bullet version because
Okay.
people can go back and listen to your entire episode. We're not doing that again. But I want them to have some context for when you share a little bit more about your life from 2021 to 2026. What's the Kim story? Like the Kim
Yeah.
story in 3 minutes up until 45 years old. Good luck. Go.
I would say I first remember as ideating when I was in 4th grade.
Hmm.
And my parents were divorced. I have a brother and a sister. My dad had gotten remarried, and she did not like me, and, so it really affected my relationship with my dad, who was, like, my parent, I guess, that I connect him most to. My family's just, like, really I say Mississippi is a hard place, but I think it's more like my family is very, "This is how you should be," like, tattoos is is a no-no, especially for women. I guess, like, I didn't ever feel like I was allowed to be myself. I was more of an embarrassment, and I've just gotten at 48 years old where I'll dress and not cover my tattoos when I'm gonna be around my parents or their friends or something.
When do you remember first starting to think about wanting to end your life?
Yeah, like 4th grade. And I would go through, like, stages throughout life where it was about 3 years that I feel like was really difficult, and then I kinda get better. I felt like ninth through maybe probably till I got pregnant in '99, ninth grade to about, like, 90 shit, I don't know, I graduated in '96. I don't know how many years that is, but I feel like I was pretty good. I mean, I was kinda passively ideating, but not, like, really wanna have an attempt, and then I'd do good for a while, and then, yeah, when I was pregnant with my 3rd child, I'd just gotten a divorce, and I was really struggling then for a few years, and then I do okay. It's just kinda been a roller coaster depending on what's going on.
Up until 2021. And I know your memory might not be perfect because, it's a few years ago. How many suicide attempts did you have?
So I never really considered them to be attempts
Mhm.
until I really started thinking back, and when I talked to you and stuff, like, I would just do really risky behavior. I always had, like, a backup plan. I would tell the doctors that I couldn't sleep, and I would get, like, months worth of sleeping pills and I would just have them. Or sometimes I would take, maybe I take, like, 4 sleeping pills to go to sleep, but, not really just things that were, not really attempts, but not full on how my kids done it.
Right, okay. Yeah, now you've seen that kind of attempt from a different lens.
Yeah, it's weird to see it from that because he does it as a, almost like on a whim. Like,
Right.
he's just upset and he just goes and takes my whole bottle of, Wellbutrin.
Right,
Last time he did that, I just gave him some charcoal and I think I told you about that one. Now I'm kinda
I know.
remembering that one,
Yeah.
that I
Oh,
had just got to that point to where I was,
uh-huh.
like, just
Oh, you
carrying
didn't
had charcoal on.
right, so you gave it to him, you didn't go to the hospital, you had the trouble.
No, because I didn't feel like it helped him the
Yeah,
time before that he had gone, yeah.
right,
I
right,
feel like whenever you have an attempt, you need people around you that love you and
right,
not
yeah,
go be sent into a
mm.
room and with a bunch of people that are also struggling that have different struggles.
Well, I mean, yeah,
It's not like they're all when you go to the ward, you're all going everybody's, sad
oh,
or had just
yeah,
had an attempt. I mean, the feeling that you have after having an attempt and it not being successful is not a happy. It's not like, "Yay, I survived," like, if you maybe survived a car crash or something,
sure,
you know?
sure,
It's,
sure, totally.
yeah, you're, like, mad at yourself.
I mean, I think some people that send people to hospitals, like let's say it's their kids, like in their mind, that might be the most loving thing to do. They just don't know.
Mhm.
I'm not defending either way, but you get it.
Well,
I
so you
mean,
don't
you
have a
understand.
choice. They'll
Yeah.
take them by police car.
Did you ever come real close?
I'd probably taken, like, a half a bottle of, sleeping pills, and I ended up calling my mom and telling her, and I met her at the hospital, and she somehow talked the doctor out of admitting me because that would be so shameful to be in a mental institution for her daughter that people would what would the neighbors think? And so the doctor ended up, like, telling her if she would just sleep in the bed with me for 2 weeks until the medicines I can't remember what SSRI they put me on at that time. I've been on
Mhm.
so many different ones, and she did that, and I don't know if it ever and I started that's the first time I started going to therapy 'cause I that would have been shameful also to go to need to have therapy for some reason. I don't know why. That's such
How
a
old?
taboo thing.
No hospital, no therapy, no tattoos.
Yeah, right.
But not necessarily in
Just
that
be
order. Not
okay. Yeah,
right,
just
not necessarily in
yeah,
that
just
order.
be
So
normal and nothing's
be
wrong and
normal, no
yeah,
hospital, no therapy, clean skin probably
wear
is
your
more.
makeup, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, okay,
Make sure
okay.
you have your earrings on when you leave the house. Yeah.
I don't see any earrings on you right now.
No, but I do have them pierced, I just don't have them
Okay. Since we talked, you said earlier you still sometimes ideate.
for sure.
You haven't attempted, or you would have said it because you said you
Oh,
haven't.
I haven't had an attempt since
Mhm.
that one in 2017, because of my kid, really, like, if
Mm.
and I can call him and say, like, "Hey, I'm kinda struggling," or he can with me. I keep myself going. My other 2, I love to death, but that one, he needs someone that understands.
Well, I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't? That's so fascinating and cool that he's that for you as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Have your views on suicide, suicidality, people who are thinking about it, ideators in the last 5 or 6 have they shifted in a way that you can put words to? Especially given what your son's gone through, I think that might be relevant.
Well, I have more compassion seeing him go through it because when I was going through it, I was more judgmental for myself, but not for other people. But I do think it's something that you can't understand unless you've actually your mind works like that. Like for the people that the family, it's hard to explain.
I asked this question about myths or misconceptions around any of this stuff. Are there any others that come to mind that you want to dispel?
Well, I thought about this and I thought about one. I can't now I can't remember.
Oh,
Let's see.
come on, Kim.
I think the biggest one is just the same one that it's selfish, but also conversations. I think that's what's helped me the most, and I have gotten better about sharing my story since I've been on the podcast, and I've gotten better about sharing it, with my son that we talk about it, and because it a lot of people don't wanna hear about it. You say the word suicide and
Oh,
people shut
yeah.
down, they don't wanna hear it, that it makes them feel like they have to do something.
Yeah.
It's not that you need them to do anything, you just need to talk or it
Yeah.
not to be a weird like, I don't expect anybody to sympathize with me or feel sorry for me, but I
Yeah.
do like to
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah, yeah, you said they shut down. I was like, "Yeah, some shut down, but some get," and you used the exact word I was gonna use, which is they get weird.
Yeah, they or get angry about it, like, it's you're saying that they've done something wrong or they're supposed to people wanna fix you, and when they can't
To
fix you, yeah, I don't know, it gets them in a weird spot.
Well, I was gonna ask you how many people you have to talk to if you really need to talk and feel
I have
okay
a
about.
great best friend, she's awesome, and my all 3 of my kids are great about talking, they'll go deep and they'll talk some, any if I call it any they all know I've ideated, they all know I've struggled mentally as their brother has, so,
Wow.
I've got some good people that I could just reach out and say, "Hey, I'm struggling," like, make sure I get out of the house.
I have a few people too. I noticed for me that, like, I'll not reach out, not because they wouldn't want to talk. I'm like, they know the story, they've heard it
Mhm.
before. Like, it's just more the same shit. Like, do you feel that way? I don't mean to use the word shit in that sort of weird way. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, so why bother them?
I try and get myself out of it first. I probably do wait till it's gotten, I've got a few things that I do that kind of I try and pull myself out of it. I garden a lot.
Either reading my mind or you had these questions in advance because you're segueing beautifully before I even asked the question. I was about to say, what if anything helps? So you garden and you bike?
Yeah, hike, photography. I'm obsessed with mushrooms. So I'm in
Oh.
these mycological societies around here. Then we have like little meetings and,
Just to be clear, you said you hike, not bike, right? Hike.
yeah, hike. Yeah.
And you like gardening and mushrooms, magic mushrooms or any mushrooms?
All of them.
All of them. Me
Like
too,
them
man.
all.
I love it.
I mean, the magic ones have helped me amazingly. I started microdosing with LSD in August of 2020, and
Mm,
then I switched over to mushrooms in the spring of 2021, and I'm in Mississippi, so I live in the middle of a cow pasture, so I can just kinda walk a few feet from my driveway, and so I did
nice.
that for a while, and that's been, I don't think I'd be alive if I didn't have psychedelics to microdose with, and then last year I got a nerve condition where there was a blood vessel on my nerve back behind my ear,
Mm,
and trigeminal neuralgia is what it's called, the suicide condition, along
yeah.
with cluster headaches, which are the suicide headache. And so had to start like upping I wasn't microdosing anymore. It was like you gotta take a half a dose. So instead of taking 100 milligrams of psilocybin mushrooms, I was taking like 1 gram. And it was
Right.
intense experiences. And so like for pain management, you gotta take a lot, so it's like all my kids have moved out, they all lived in different places, so I'm by myself and I'm having these, like, big psychedelic experiences while in this intense pain. It's been a wild year. I had surgery in November, so I'm, 3 months out of a craniotomy.
Damn, I forget the person's name. She's gonna be upset with me if she ever hears this, but I know she lives in New Jersey, and it was a couple years ago at least, I think. And she was the first person that told me about that condition and when she really went into it and how it affected her life.
Yeah, it's the most intense pain. I've had 3 kids without pain meds, and I would do that over again every day before having to deal with this again. But I
Did
think
you?
the surgery did take that pain away, but I still have cluster headaches.
I remember her surgery didn't work.
When I woke up with a cluster headache and I was thinking that the surgery didn't work, and it's like, I mean, they cut you like
Yeah,
from the bottom of your neck all the way up to your ear and drill a hole in there. So all these nerves are cut, all the muscles are cut. If I felt like that didn't work, and I was allergic to the medicine too, the carpazolene, I would break out in hives. I couldn't think. So it's like, man, if I'm just going to be stupid and have to be just a shell of myself, then kind of what's the point?
I know.
I
I would
hate that
imagine.
though. Gosh, her surgery didn't work. There's
I
not that many
uh-huh.
options.
I hope she's still with us. I understand if she's not, if she was in that kind of pain. You're talking to somebody who believes in agency. She was just in a lot of pain, and it affects. How can it not affect every area of your life?
Well, you
I
can't think. You can't smile. You can't really talk very much. If I cried, it would be crying was my biggest trigger. Crying and cold wind. So like I couldn't go outside, couldn't go hiking when it was cold, when the wind was cold. And that affected my mental health because I was no longer using psychedelics for mental health. I was using it for pain management.
Yeah,
So now I'm trying to 3 months out of that surgery, like, okay, let's start working on this brain again because
mm,
I was just trying to just keep on going, but I got pretty hopeless for a while there in the summer. It got pretty and it wasn't like it's been before where I've been ideating. It was where I just was about to give up. Like, what's the point? Like, why
yeah.
my
Well,
kids aren't here, they're good, they're doing really good.
Right.
Financially and everything. I could have just dipped out, but for some reason I was like, let's just try the surgery and see what happens.
Well, at some point in 2020 or 2021, you stumbled upon this podcast, probably not
Hmm.
by accident. You were compelled to reach out and speak with me, which I still am very grateful for. My feelings won't be hurt, but do you ever listen to this podcast?
I will here and there. I listened to it a lot before I was on. And then I felt like there was this like itch almost I had to scratch. Like I needed, especially with my kids struggling. So I'm like, I need to somehow share my story, understand it, do something, and just being own. It did something where and I'll kind of listen here and there. I'll kind of clip in or maybe like skip around. Or if
Hmm.
I'm like gardening or something, I like to hear conversations and different people's stories. So here
If
and
you're
there, but not like I was like listening to every episode before I was on it.
if you're
Hmm.
curious, June of 2024, Kelly in New Jersey, she had that same condition.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, that might be an interesting one for you to hear, just because she has it or had it. Again, I don't know if she's still with
June
us.
of 2024.
In 2021, I was not asking this question. I am now. So this
Okay.
question goes for both when we talked in 2021, as best you can recall, and right now. And the question is the pink and purple pill question. And I say this just for the audience. By the way, audience, this is an update episode. If you don't know what this question is, you got to go back and listen to any original episode on any Monday, but I am in a good mood, so I will say it again. If I give Kim this pill and she chooses to ingest it and swallow it, she goes to sleep. There's absolutely no pain. Let's add the fact that she could have the greatest dream of her life. We won't ask the details of that. There is no pain, and nobody knows it's a suicide. What do you think you would have done it not and back in 2021?
That's a hard question to, like, go back and think because I'm trying to think of what all was going on. I would like to have those pills.
There's only one. It just happens to be
Yeah.
two colors. It's one pill. Don't lose it if you want it. So then you would have saved it.
Yeah, I would still like to save it. I would still
Okay.
like to
Okay.
have it for, I like that I don't care about the pain part of it, just that it would work and that people wouldn't know.
They would know.
But right now, I feel like I need to God, I worked too hard to get over this craniotomy to just dip out right now. But,
All right.
my kid's getting married next summer, so I need to be
Mm-hmm.
around for that, and that's kinda just these little moments, just which feels like that's forever away. But,
So
like,
you're
I just need to make it to that.
So, but when you say stuff like that, I'm thinking it's not, it's like, well, what are you looking at? Like 50-50 odds that you make it to 50?
Yeah, probably.
All right. So you're
Yeah, I've
suicide.
really been thinking I've probably thought about, like, how much longer can I do this more in the past year with having the surgery and having the,
Mm-hmm.
trigeminal neuralgia stuff, where I'm like, "Okay, let me just get to that point, and then we'll"
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like,
Like
thinking
that.
about
Yeah.
even 5 years down the road, I don't know if I wanna do that.
When you think about it, I know in the past it was like having those pills nearby and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Do you think about method differently in terms of like I would do it a different way if I were to go that route? Given that the
No,
pink
I
and purple
still I
pill
still like that. I still think that that method would probably be the best for me.
ah, and we're talking about pills, not my pill, because my pill isn't real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, this might for some people be the hardest question because sometimes this is another thing that's evolved, and this was post Kim conversation where I think it was after where I asked people about a memoir title for their life. Sometimes I can contribute to that. I have these ideas. I'm like, dude, I think this is it. All right, so let's
Yeah,
talk title and or subtitle. What would it be called?
"Pardon me for living" is a Billy Stray's lyric. "Pardon me for living for the time I'm here with you." 'Cause I think that's my biggest struggle is not feeling like I can be myself.
Pardon me for living for
Like,
the
let
time.
me just live my life how I want to live, dress how I wanna dress, present myself into the world how I want to. I mean, I feel like as long as you're a kind person that people should be behind that, but they're not.
Not always. No.
Being your authentic self is a trigger for people that don't feel like they can be their self.
We talked 4.5 years ago. 4.5 years from now, you'll be 52 or 53 years old. I know we just said 50, you might not make it to 50. You are going to try to make it to your son's wedding. That would be before 50 years old. If we talked in the same time frame, so again, 4.5 years from now, so again, you're in your early 50s. I know you can't think that far ahead because you just said that, but I'm going to ask you what might be different, if anything, in your life, if you're alive.
I mean, hopefully, I'm not living by myself and not just necessarily saying, like, I hope I'm in a relationship because I think that's a big trigger for me, but just having more of a community of people like me. I do a lot of different stuff around the house, gardening, art, stained glass, like stuff like that. And
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm by myself grinding and pushing away and plugging away, and a lot of times I'm like, "Why do I do all this?" Maybe if I could have more of a community or more people around that can support or encourage, like, I'll do things I don't know, maybe other people are like this too, but my last kid moved out in February of last year,
Hmm.
and I just got to where, like, I'm hardly wanna eat or, like, fix a meal or something because it's just me, but when it's other people, I'll do more.
I don't know the demographics of all of my guests, but there's a lot of people that will hear that and get it. Not the details of your specific life, but the loneliness or being alone.
Yeah, it's been a crippling loneliness. I had the surgery 3 months ago, and it has just been like, I've never felt this. My kid will come, my younger one that I've talked about, he only lives an hour and a half away, so he'll come and he'll visit, and he'll stay a night with his girlfriend,
Mhm.
and so it's like I don't really have just him. Yeah, I just kinda that's a surgery you need to have a good support system. I had, like, my mom and my kid did 10 days stayed at the house with me, kinda switched
Mm.
up, and then it was like, once I got off my walker, I kinda had to toughen up and take care of myself. So
Um,
maybe I'll still do 5 years if, something changes and I have, like, some friends find me or something.
Update number two, though we don't have to wait that long. Is there anything else you want to talk about and or questions you'd like me to ask you, or maybe even other guests for these update episodes, or something else you want to share about your life?
So something I've, like, been trying to figure out is, like, how to have that community. How do you
Mhm.
reach out to other people? There should be a support group for family of people that have had attempts, not just support groups of people that it's happened, of people that have passed away from it. It should we're there's Al-Anon for people that whose family is, which would be similar, I guess. I mean, addiction is a lot of a mental health issue. Yeah, I would be interested in other people's thoughts on how to have it that have attempts that could, like, or that think like we do, that could
Yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
"Hey, I'm having a," 'cause if I was to go to the doctor and say, "Hey, I've got," "I'm thinking about offing myself," and they're like, they're gonna say, "Do you have a plan?" Well, yeah, I
yeah,
always have a plan.
yeah. Right, 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 right. And then all of a
I
sudden,
can be at my very best, and I have a backup plan,
right,
that you
then
could
your
just
community.
say, like,
Yeah,
"Hey, I'm struggling, I've got this," and for people that get it, that would understand and just,
definitely, man.
I think
There's
that's what I need more than anything is just, like, it's okay to feel like that. I wish that there was, like, a place where you could go when you're feeling like that, and
ew.
that would help.
I know, like, because if you do it, really, almost always, there's probably some exceptions, your quote community is going to be white walls, ill people, and unenthused medical professional. That's your community. What else you got, man? This is awesome. It was really cool catching up with you again. I
Yeah.
wish there was a little part of me that's like not really wishing because it's I just my brain is weird. I'm like, man, she might be fucking crushing life now, and 4 years later. But that's not the goal of these. It's really just to catch up and say,
I do feel like I've helped a lot of people through conversation, reaching out,
ah,
through,
yeah,
trying to help them or, like, parents
mhm,
who, don't understand their kids that are struggling that I know what that brain feels like
yeah.
day to day.
What's the rest of your day like?
It feels finally it is not gonna be freezing, and there's no cold or no freezing temperatures for the next 10 day forecast, so I am taking my little worm bins and compost bins outside to my hoop house, and I'm taking all my cactuses and stuff out there to live, so I'm not having to have them under lights for a while. Hopefully, maybe go on a little hike with the dogs or something.
Love it. And when this episode comes out, feel like you might listen to it or no?
Yeah, I'll listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I enjoyed it. Appreciate it. I hope the rest of those activities this afternoon bring you a little modicum of whatever the word is, joy or peace or something positive.
Yeah. Just knowing I've got something growing and that needs me to be alive.
100%, man. I gotta do that shit too, man. I gotta get into plants or something, man.
Well, there's something in the soil.
Yeah.
When you dig around in the soil, like seriously, there's a bacteria in the soil. I don't know what it is. That it is scientifically, I'm not just making it up, that is an antidepressant.
Yeah, man.
Get your hands in the dirt.
Get your hands in the dirt. Don't wear gloves. And I'm telling you right now, you can take that as a memoir title for somebody else out there. Maybe Kim, maybe someone else. Another one. We got two in just one update episode. I'm crushing it. We did it. Thanks again for talking. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Talk soon. Bye.
All right. Bye.
As always, thanks so much for listening and all of your support. Special thanks to Kim in Mississippi for talking with me again. Thank you, Kim. If you are a suicide attempt survivor or ideator and you'd like to talk, I'd love to talk with you. Please reach out. hello@suicidenoted.com. Check out our polls on Spotify. Rate us 5 stars if you would, please, on Apple. And you can learn more about the podcast in a bunch of places, including suicidenoted.com. Thanks. And that's all for this week's episode. Stay strong. Do the best you can. I'll talk to you soon.